Remote procedure call TypeScript provides a type-safe communication between the backend and frontend in a monorepo. Normally, if you make changes to your API on the server, you don't see an error until you do.
I'm on fire!
tRPC makes sure this never happens with sharing data and type definitions between these two. In GraphQL, this is possible with schema definitions, but it might be an overkill for my special pet shop. And in general, it combines the concepts from REST and GraphQL. Great idea if you're using TypeScript for both backend and frontend. In Next.js, as an alternative, we have server actions. It works fine for a small number of endpoints. Beyond that, we use tRPC. Beyond that, we use GraphQL. Let's get started by using it in a React and hono monorepo. But tell me in the comments if you want to see me do more. After installing the dependencies, open and go to the server. Then also install hono tRPC middleware and Zod. Use that in the index file. Then create a file where we define the tRPC configuration. First, let's call the create function from init tRPC, then define a public procedure. We also have protected procedures for authentication. Let's then define a router, which by calling it you can have a collection of procedures. We have query, mutation, and subscription. To receive data, simply call the input function on a procedure. Finally, use Zod to validate the input. There are other concepts you should know about, but for the sake of time, I leave that to you. Export. Lastly, let's implement it in our client in the src/utils folder. Install the tRPC client and go to the file. From there, import. This is kinda the whole thing that makes the type-safe definition possible. Then import and call create tRPC client with the app router assigned to it. Pass an object with a list of links, which lets us customize flow of data between the tRPC client and server. In this case, I'm using a batch link that lets me call multiple procedures in a single request if I want to.
What's that? You think you're better than me? What? No, I didn't say that.
Then to use it, go to our naked app file, create a use effect, call the tRPC procedures we imported from here, pass the data, and then log that shit or show it on the screen. But make sure you have the projects up and running. Notice how we have autocompletion for our API calls and get an error when we try to add bullshit. The links are in the description. Thanks for watching and have a good day.